Sweet.
What's up, folks?
What's up, guys?
How you guys doing tonight?
We'll let you all trickle in.
Yeah.
That's the YouTube. We'll go to the Facebook. There we go. Hey. Here we are. Back again. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? I don't know. This stuff just pops in my head now. I don't know if it's because of you or not. Probably, maybe. Got me on that thinking ahead, and singing when I can't sing. Oh, who's all filtering in? Oh, that's just you. I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Oh man, I felt so bad. Like just me.
No, I'm just joking. Come on. Say hi. Whoever's in the chat already on Facebook. Say hello. We got always got a good show every night. We do.
You tried to, yeah.
We try. Paula says, I can't. It looks like it hugs.
No, man.
Oh, it's like this.
Yeah.
Okay, I see
Rock
it.
on, Paula.
Rock on. Sorry, my hand don't work very well, but I'm trying. I had to look at it for a minute, and no, we're not drunk. We're just buzzed. Just buzzed. All comfortable. And you got the topic for today, sir?
It's Maniac Monday, so we're gonna be talking about some investigation stuff on the recent bridge investigations. Yep. We'll get to more of that later.
Yes.
But we're gonna be talking about also some of the maniacs of history. So, your dictators, your cult leaders, your serial killers, any of that kind of stuff you guys want to talk to. Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, David and Randy? If that's both you or
one or both,
What's up, David?
What's guys? How you guys doing? So tonight we're doing Maniac Monday, and we're talking about any kind of, like I said, dictators, serial killers, cult leaders, any kind of creepy people. Your John Wayne Gacy's. What was the People's Church, and I mean, some people even say Scientology is one, but it's a whole other bag of worms.
Oh yeah, sure is. Let the people trickle in here. Do you want to do a tarot pull?
We'll do a tarot pull.
Make sure you have
I have my book list. Yeah.
Make sure you have your little cheat sheet, because this is a new tarot deck.
Yeah, we're using a new tarot deck, and the other day I didn't have my booklet ready, and I looked very silly.
Nah.
Oh, I looked very silly. So we'll do the same thing. We'll shuffle up as we always do, and we do a tarot card pull, a single card pull at the beginning of every episode, and we shuffle up, put our intentions into the deck as we're doing that, and
excuse me,
try to get some kind of insight, some kind of message for the show.
Yep.
And I was not familiar with this deck. I've had it for a while, but I haven't messed with it as much as the other deck I have. And I wasn't familiar with some of the terms because it's an Alice in Wonderland one, so it's a little different than your typical tarot deck.
David says at work again, listening. Shh. We won't tell. It's our secret.
It's our secret, man. No worries.
Are you watching from both YouTube and?
I don't know. We have EVP Mediums on the
so it must
YouTube.
Be David.
And shouts out to them. We've talked about it in a couple episodes.
Yes,
but
we did.
We were on their show, and
yes.
we were interviewed with them.
Yes.
It was a wonderful time. So
yes,
check out David and Randy. They're wonderful people.
Mm-hmm.
And
EVP Mediums. It's on YouTube.
And then Paranormal Road.
Paranormal Road is their podcast on any of your podcast platforms.
And they really they gave us a wonderful interview, and they gave us some wonderful stories that they told us. We can't wait to interact with those guys.
Great bunch of guys. We can't wait to have all those fireside chats and cryptid hunts and ghost stories to tell.
Somebody kill the corona.
Someone killed that already.
COVID needs to go.
That guy from House needs to get his meds so he can solve this right now. Damn it.
You want Hugh Laurie to come? Yep. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
That is fair. That is fair.
All right. Go and shuffle up a little bit.
Shuffling. Every day I'm shuffling. Going down creepy paths. Shuffling.
So how's everybody doing tonight? Like I said, it's Maniac Monday. So if you have any creepy maniacs you want to talk about, your serial killers, your cult leaders, your dictators,
Monday. And this will kind of lead
your Stalins, your Hitlers, your Mansons, your Wayne Gacy's, all those type of people.
And I don't know about this one, but Hitler was not killed in Germany. He died in South America down there now. I watched it with Josh Gates. Josh Gates did a thing on it. That's what I'm referencing to. I forget which episode, but it was the hidden.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just getting my phone ready so I can
hidden bunkers and that one house that's sitting right there off the coast going into it. And this town in South America that looks like a German town, and it's got German heritage in there. Go figure that one out. Anyway, here you go, sir.
Give me 1 second.
Get that phone loaded.
That's better.
Tracy is watching. Hey, Tracy.
All right, so we're about to pull our tarot card for the night. So everybody, be ready.
Here we go. What's it going to be?
Oh, it's the Queen of Oysters in the reverse position. So let's see what that means.
Reverse position. Oh, boy. Get out your little... That is a small little handy book. Hey, Tracy. We just doing our tarot card pull for tonight. And tonight's Maniac Monday, provided by this guy. And look at it.
We even talked about it.
No, I forgot to turn this part off. I turned it, whatever. My phone's weird. Well, hello there, guys and gals.
All right,
Joe.
Joe, what's up? All right, so for the Queen of Oysters in the reverse, it's false front, underdeveloped ego, need to impress, evil and suspicion, viciousness, irresponsibility. So I'm not sure what that's about. I feel like we're not ever given a false front.
No, we're never getting a false front.
Maybe it's something that's been presented to us that's been false. Well, okay. Let's talk about it. We've been doing the Jate stuff, and we've been out there in Helltown, and there's a lot of false stuff and like inflated stuff out there.
Okay, that's what we're talking about.
That could be it because we've been out there so much recently. There's so much of that energy on us.
Trying to uncover a lot of the truths and not the legend, because everyone keeps asking about the legend. No, we're just after the truth in that area, and that's a pretty big area and a lot of stuff going on in that area.
So I think that might be the message for us there.
We want to share the truth, not the legend. All right, Joe,
so we hope everybody's doing
all right,
wonderful
Joe.
Tonight.
Thank you, Joe. All right, Joe. It's Maniac Monday, and that includes you. I'm just teasing.
Yeah, Joe's kind of a maniac sometimes.
I know he's a maniac in the chat room here.
Everybody loves him, though.
Yeah, everyone loves Joe. Oh, and Joe, the reference I made. It'll come out on Wednesday. The reference I made while I was walking through the Jade paper mill with the light pole, it made a reference for what me and Terry and you were talking about today. So, but you have to watch that out for Wednesday. I kind of made a little thing up because they were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
How Joe was a jokester with Terry that one time thought he electrocuted him. But anyway, funny guy, funny stories from it all around.
Exactly. So getting into Maniac Monday, I'm going to talk about my first story of the night, and that's Charles Manson, because he passed away not too long ago.
We talked about this a little bit earlier about his energy and whatnot in the walls.
Well, and that's what I want to talk about. So a lot of people talk about energy, and energy is a big part of not only just spirituality, but a number of things.
Yes.
But it's a big part of spirituality. So when you're talking about energy, you think about somebody who has a lot of built up hatred, a lot of negativity, and things of that nature. And you look at somebody like Charles Manson, and you're like, oh wow, this guy could definitely be, um, full of so much hatred that when he passes, it could just go out into the universe.
And it didn't decrease over time when he was in prison. It just seemed to increase more and more.
Well, he was such a wild person, wild personality. And he's not the only person. I'm just using him as a reference because he was so popular, And so that's my first maniac of the night I would like to talk about is, Charles Manson and, his ability to manipulate and change the minds of the people he worked with. It's kind of an amazing, crazy story.
And things from the chat. David started a watch party. So thank you there, David.
Yeah.
And
thank you so much.
Joe says, I am a maniac. Good old Joe. Stirring it up in there. Mine will be what we just said about what a tarot card pull. It would be the legend of the Helltown area.
Yeah.
How part of the legend is why that place is like that is because of certain demonic cults in the area.
Exactly.
That worship and done things in that area. Or by that red barn, there's that slaughter. They said they slaughter people in that red barn, and they slaughtered people in the other barn up at the Stanford house. None of that's true.
Yeah. And it's really weird when you're looking at some of that stuff because, everything is always tossed, at Satanism. And it's not always, Satanistic stuff.
No, it's not always.
There's different things that people can pull rituals from other than like Satanistic
Oh, yeah.
things.
They can do worships in there.
In modern day, like Satanists are not really the people you would think they are. You know, for the most part, they're actually mostly pretty peaceful and relaxed people. But it's a whole other story.
And that's what they said the black-eyed children came from. Black-eyed children can be interdimensional beings. So
and the interdimensional stuff is really interesting because everything is now being attached to interdimensional. The black-eyed children, not the black-eyed peas. Sasquatches, yeah, exactly. And even like UFO sightings, they used to always be referred to as like alien. Now it's like, well, what if it's time travelers? What if it's interdimensional people, traveling through dimensions? Well, and that's another thing.
That's like another thing.
He used to always just be this thing just from nature. Now he's an interdimensional being who can travel to like what's the real story there? There's so many things tossed in that area. I have gone out on Bigfoot hunts and have searched areas for him. And it's amazing that in some of the areas I've been, I haven't run into something of some kind of like cryptid or some kind of creepy nature.
Kind of creepy black-eyed children. Because, if you noticed in my one video, I kept looking around my back. I don't want these little black-eyed children following me. No one wants that. Because no one happens if you let them in. No one's let them in anywhere.
Oh man, David had a good question. Any accounts of the Hat Man?
In that area there, David, or just in general?
Well, I haven't had any stories that have been told to me or any experiences myself. I know of the Hat Man, and I know of that's one of the many shadow figures
that Mike Ricksecker talks about.
Well, in
his book,
plenty of people have talked about. But we read his Walk in the Shadows recently from Ricksecker, and the whole Haunted Road Media is definitely an inspiration and a source we utilize for sure.
We trust a lot.
Yeah,
and in general, he says, I haven't. Personally, but we've reread about it from like Mike Ricksecker, and
we have had
on Haunted Road Media
shadow figures we've encountered,
but not necessarily of the Hat Man variety.
Exactly,
or his minions with them as.
Hey, David, do you have a story of a?
Oh, there you go, Dave.
I would love to hear it.
Yeah, we love to hear a Hat Man story.
By the way, David is my middle name, so it's really easy to remember your name.
Well,
I'm usually very terrible with names, and I know it's in the chat too, but it's like I forget things really quickly. But David's my middle name, so it's easy.
I remember David because
Oh,
my stepdad's name.
David
but,
said he's gonna share it with us at camping, so I can't wait for that camping trip.
Is there a small story you can share right now, sir? I mean,
he wants to keep
he
it.
wants to keep it. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I get it. I get it.
So
I can't wait for that camping trip, though.
I thought about this too, David, since we've been investigating that whole area up in Helltown, the Boston. It's been called Boston, Boston Mills, Boston Township, Jate, Sagamore Mills was the other one because it's right there where up there where the deep lock is, not the deep lock, the canal lock in that old the road bridge.
Yeah,
That's called, and that's where the ski resort is, Sagamore Mills. I've been thinking if we do like a thing, can't all spend the night in that Stanford house and go Bigfoot and paranormal and whatnot, because we can walk down the canal pass and go right to Jate and investigate.
yeah.
It's not hard. We love hiking. Oh, he says can, but at work. Okay.
No, I get it, dude.
Oh, we're fine.
I'm just glad you're tuning in to watch.
I know. We're tuning in, sharing, and you shared the feed. So we appreciate that watch party you started as well. We appreciate all of you that join us tonight.
And I'm getting it set up soon to where we'll have some new equipment we'll be messing with, and also some new software we'll be messing with.
Yes.
So we'll be able to have people in for like a live stream and things of that nature. So if we can catch you on a good night, we'd love to have you in and talking with us.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Oh, any other there in the chat have any cults or Hat Man or experiences? I mean, I always remember the Waco one down there. That was crazy. I don't know the full story on that, but I remember that watching it as a kid.
Yeah. Well, and there's plenty of, it goes, you know, it's international. It's popped up everywhere. And it's before people had the internet and the ability to spread it in the masses and get it anything like
Yeah.
we talked about the Slender Man and how quickly the Slender Man just blew up and became this way big phenomenon. And, you know, and I've talked about it like with magic and different religions and stuff.
Give me the Mike Ricksecker book, and I'm going to look for Hat Man because Tracy's never heard of the Hat Man.
Well, and I'll continue.
Go ahead and continue.
With the Slender Man, you know, it became such a big phenomenon, and there was actually there was a story of those girls who stabbed that one other girl over like a Slender Man myth and everything.
Oh yeah,
you know,
that story.
And she survived, luckily, but it was a whole twisted stories, you know, and talking about Maniac Monday, that's definitely a maniac situation where these girls were literally trying to like almost like sacrifice this girl to a Slender Man like being. And that's really interesting because to think that something that just popped up when I was graduating high school could have as quickly as, you know, the Boogeyman or Candyman or something like that, it became this big like thing that a lot of people were afraid of, you know. So I'm always amazed at how something, you know, through just the sheer belief in certain people's mind can almost like manifest itself and become a reality to certain people.
Tell our story of episode 1 of Paranormal Road. That's Dave, and all kids share theirs as well. Interesting.
Well, I'm working my way through some of the episodes, and I can't wait until I get back to those early episodes because I know you guys were saying that, you know, you definitely have learned some things along the way. And
oh, hi, Tyler's mom.
Hi, Mom. But I know you guys are saying you learned some things along the way, and I'm interested to see as it goes back forward or back to the earlier episodes, you know, some of those things. So I can't wait.
I'm still looking. I'm talking.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I'm still looking for it.
Did you check in the back?
Oh, I'm going to check it out. I was going to share a story there, Tracy. That was it from the book. But
yeah, he's got a story coming up for that for sure. But just for the people just tuning in, it's Maniac Monday. So we're talking all the different maniacs of history in the past and maybe ones that are still alive to this day. So your dictators, your cult leaders, your serial killers, people of that nature. We talked a little bit about Charles Manson and some of his power over people and all that kind of stuff. And if anybody has any stories or any things they've heard or any of the maniacs out there that have attracted them or become interesting to them, definitely spit them out there, because there's so many of those kind of crazy people who have either hurt other people or used other people to do terrible things. Hey man, Batman has like the best rogues gallery, so he's definitely has the best villains.
I'm gonna read this little section.
All right.
And I won't share the stories, but I'll share a little bit. It's
from A Walk in the Shadows by Mike Ricksecker.
You can get
he's
this.
Gonna read about the Hat Man.
Yeah, I'm gonna read a part about the Hat Man. The Hat Man is probably the most feared type of shadow person out of all varying kinds of these types of supernatural entities. In terms of pure horror, the Crawler is probably the scariest. Witness is Crawler. We'll get to that in chapter 7, but that's what he's saying. Since the particular phenomena isn't reported nearly as often as the Hat Man, the lidded ones get the nod. The Hat Man is essentially a type of humanoid figure, shadow person who wears a hat, usually a fedora or sometimes a top hat. I heard of one account in which the Hat Man was seen wearing an Archer-style hat like something out of Robin Hood. Creepy. Many times... I was thinking of Men in Tights, but that's how my brain works.
That's a good movie.
Many times the Hat Man will simply take a particular type of style. For instance, the shadow person wearing a fedora will often don a trench coat, while those seen wearing a top hat may also be wearing a cape, like Superman. Details of the clothing are usually sketchy since everything about the entity is still black. However, its general outline of the being that usually gives one a sense of what these entities might be wearing. Sometimes the clothing in its shadow form may also be seen moving, as we'll learn in the following accounts. These different styles, however, don't seem to correlate. I can't read with any one particular goal. In other words, just because the shadow person is wearing a fedora, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's there to terrorize you. Similarly, just because it's wearing a top hat, it doesn't necessarily mean that's only there to be an observer. It may have some other agenda in mind. One really doesn't know until the situation is at hand. So there you go.
Yep.
And he's got other stories of other people's accounts, but that's pretty much a general idea of what the Hat Man. He's the scariest one, and he's not just an observer. He's got something in mind. And sometimes in some of the stories, he's got two little minions with the red eyes staring at you.
And to address the comments, to my mom Hope out there, it's really interesting because Ted Bundy, there's been a lot of stuff that's been released about him recently, and there's the documentary, and then there was the movie where Zac Efron played him, which Zac Efron, we watched, my wife and I, we watched the documentary beforehand, and then we watched the movie with Zac Efron. Zac Efron actually killed it as Ted Bundy. He was creepy. He definitely played the part how it should have been played. So he was a little bit too pretty for the role. Ted Bundy wasn't an ugly guy, but he definitely wasn't like Zac Efron. But it was a solid movie all in all together. So the Ted Bundy stuff's interesting because he was so intent on continuing his cause or whatever he wanted to do, where he escaped out of prison and then immediately stuck to Florida and started killing again. He was definitely an interesting case.
Oh.
And I saw that David and Tracy was talking about Jack the Ripper, and that's definitely what you think of when you think of a Hat Man.
The Hat Man, you think of Jack the Ripper back there in England. Well, I'll learn some. Well, I just wanted to get that story out. I mean, you can even order that book off of Amazon at Mike Ricksecker, Beyond the Shadows, the Guide of Shadow People or Shadow Figures.
Yeah. Walk in the Shadows.
Walk in the Shadows.
Yes. So I see Ann popped in. Hi, Ann. How you doing tonight? And Joe was saying Son of Sam, and that's definitely like he was one of those interesting ones because he was so honest in his interviews where it's just like he had no like regret or remorse. He was like, "What I did, like I know what I did."
Tracy remembers a Mark Harmon Ted Bundy movie when she was a kid. I don't know if you've seen that one.
No, but I love Mark Harmon. Yeah.
So we'll look into that.
I definitely love NCIS.
Definitely. Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Tracy. We'll look into that and watch it.
Dude, that Ted Bundy movie though, it's really good, and Zac Efron actually does a really good job.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that one yet though, but I heard you said it was very good.
Yeah. And the documentary is amazing.
But he says he's too pretty for that role because Ted Bundy.
Well, Zac Efron's like a really like handsome dude, So
and
like
Ted Bundy wasn't exactly.
And he had, like Ted Bundy always had that like unibrow thing going on and stuff,
The unibrow.
I mean, Zac Efron definitely like uglies himself up, but he's still like he's just.
You could tell it's Zac.
He's like a perfectly structured dude. It's really weird.
Oh, it's Charlena. The subject is Maniac Monday.
Yeah, Maniac Monday.
Cult
leaders, serial killers, dictators. We talked a little bit about Charles Manson. We've been talking a little bit about Ted Bundy.
The Hat Man.
Yeah, we've been talking. Jack the Ripper. He was specifically going out of ladies of the nights and stuff like that. So it was an interesting story. But any of those stories, you could toss them all out.
Oh yeah, any of your stories now, since we've read a couple of ours.
Yeah.
From the book earlier.
Yeah, so toss a couple stories out and no worries, Ann. Thank you for popping in.
Positive energy. She talked to me earlier. I'll talk about it later. But send positive energy out to her family.
Yep.
So she's going through some rough times right now.
Sorry to hear, Ann. I hope you have a wonderful night though.
We'll talk about it later after. I don't want to share it on the show.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah, it's kind of personal for especially family. Anyway, continuing on. Anyone else got some memories of cults?
So, like, growing up, man, like, okay, so you're a little older than me. So you were younger in the 80s. Was there any stories, like news reports in the 80s of, like, any, like, serial killers or anything that really sparked you as a younger person?
Well, the later ones was the Waco, Texas cult leader thing.
We'll talk about, like, the...
I mean, I feel
Koresh was definitely an interesting story.
I was a little fuzzy on it, but that's the one I kind of remember a lot because there's just... Would he make his own little town and start people following him?
Yeah.
It was just nuts.
Oh, dude, the Atlanta child killer, that one's interesting because they cover that one on the show Mindhunter, which the show Mindhunter is really interesting because they talk to a lot of different people and they it's a great story. We'll be back.
Okay.
Sorry, folks. I will be back in 1 second. Ugh.
Yeah, and share any of your guys' things. What you guys remember when growing up. Serial killers, cult leaders, Maniac Monday. I mean, there's a lot that inspired the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That Ed Gein, was it? I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. Where he took skin off and wore it as hats and masks. And the inspiration behind Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and they found all this in his house as meat and eyeballs and whatnot. I think it was Ed Gein or Ed. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But it was one of the guys that inspired the real serial killer that inspired the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. Ooh, your mom says Green River Killer. Holy crap! I haven't heard of that. Tyler's mom. That's interesting. Because back when I was a real youngin'. Because I know I'm like 45, but my parents tried really hard to keep me away from all of that crap. So I didn't really get into it till later in my 20s when I was able to do all this stuff, like drinking and watching horror movies and whatnot. Oh, what about those kids that were a vampire cult that got framed for killing kids? Spooky real killer out there. Holy crap.
Oh, I know what they're talking about.
That's damn. Oh, yeah. We're talking about the Ed Gein or whatever.
Ed Gein, yeah.
Ed Gein. And I was talking about, yes, he had lampshades made out of skin.
It's a crazy story.
The
with him.
Buffalo Bill character in a Signs that was also based off Ed Gein. Yep. I probably spell I almost the axe murderer that David was talking about. I got to read on him. I will do that. And it's the Green River. Yeah, I know about the axe murderer. I want to investigate that house too. I mean, that's an interesting one. Did she do it? I think she did it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Just like Carol Baskins killed her husband.
Oh, yeah. No, we're going to get on that kick now. I know she did. I even saw a little bit of those.
Oh, man.
I came into the room.
I had to sneak it in. I'm sorry.
I came into the room and saw this, and he just mysteriously disappeared. Come on, she did kill him.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Carol Baskins definitely killed her husband, for sure.
She disappeared mysteriously. Okay. I don't like you anymore. Let's feed you to the tigers and put a bunch of that oil on.
Sardine oil, man.
Sardine oil. That was on the other dude's foot. Yeah, okay. Anyway.
Sorry. I had to sneak it in at some point, you know.
In. But like I said,
thank you guys already for throwing out so many of your guys' favorites.
The Axe Murderer house I really want to get into and investigate. I'm sure after all this is over, they'll allow us.
I'm going to play something real quick.
Okay, play something. Yeah, she did. She did kill her husband, yes. God. Of course it snuck in here. Thank you, Tyler.
I'm sorry, man.
It came out there. So she can be considered a killer. Not a serial killer. But you think about how many other people she get rid of just because she... Yeah, okay. We're not getting into that. Sorry, guys. We go deep in our theories sometimes.
All right. So, one of the biggest cults ever was Jim Jones, and he had, taken everybody to South Africa to make his land of peace, and that's, the oh gosh, Jonestown, yeah, the Jonestown. Yeah.
Okay. You did talk about that before too.
Yeah. So I'm gonna play the last words he gave as it's literally the last speech he ever gave. So this is the creepy mindset of somebody who literally he believed he was killing, like this mass suicide was a good thing for the world. So I'm gonna play this real quick.
Charlena says, "Don't drink the Kool-Aid."
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid. I don't care what flavor it is.
Oliver woman, but she come over and kill me if her sons with the chopper. These are people's peddlers of hate. All we're doing is laying down our life. We're not letting them take our life. We're laying down our life. We're taking their lives. We just want peace.
All I like to say is that my so-called parents was filled with so much hate.
For
socialism, communism.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one.
Well, while you're getting that, David says, was Jim Jones Irish? LOL. You and afraid of those Amish, David?
Oh, the Amish, yeah.
And Bill Gates thinks so too. Yeah, Bill Gates is behind a lot of different stuff. I'm sorry, we're not going to get into that guy.
Yeah. Oh man, Bill Gates, that's a whole other story.
That's a whole other.
A genius, but there's some definitely some interesting
some
stuff.
Shady stuff going on behind there. Yeah. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
What was you playing? Someone preaching?
Oh. All right. Well, I can't find the thing I was looking for, so I'm sorry. There was the sound that I was looking for. I have saved on a hard drive somewhere, but basically he, at the end, really truly believed that what all those people were doing was going to take them on to like the next thing, the next level, And it's just insane for one person to have that much persuasion. If anybody wants to check out Wild Wild Country, it's the documentary on Netflix. And that's a whole another story about something that popped up in, I believe it's Oregon. And there's so much, like, there are still people to this day who follow the words and stuff of Osho, you know?
Oh, Tracy says there was another guy similar that had everyone wear the same kind of shoes and killed himself thinking they were going to space.
Yeah,
or
that
something.
was
cult leaders are crazy.
the People's Temple, I think.
I recall, and Charlena says I recall Heaven's Gate.
Heaven's Gate. Yep, that was Heaven's Gate. Yep.
Can't think of his name. That was it.
Yeah, Heaven's Gate. That was definitely for sure Heaven's Gate. And
that's interesting.
yeah, because it was always, he recorded all these videos and stuff. But
oh my God, this is getting good.
Marshall Applewhite was the person who was the Heaven's Gate. Yeah. So Heaven's Gate was a whole other bag of worms where he literally like had all these people believing that, yeah, they were going to like the next level, and I think they were all wearing Nikes.
Let's go to the other world.
And they were all like covered in these like covers and stuff, and like dressed in like jumpsuits or something like that.
Like they're going to space.
No, like not like that. Like track suits, like
track
like
suits.
Adidas like track suits or something like that.
Okay. Okay, your mom says, what about the girl back on the day that killed her parents with an axe? That's Lizzie Boardman. Yeah, she did it. She killed her parents. They said she didn't, but she was a little crazy.
All right, well, covered in these like.
Oh, he's got.
Sorry, I made the mistake you made. Yeah.
Apple.
I was trying to play that one clip and
Marshall
everything.
Applewhite. Yeah. Oh, Joe's like Marshall Applewhite. Then your mom says about the Lizzie Borden, the axe. Yeah, David was talking about that earlier. Tyler's mom.
Tracy named a rabbit after Lizzie because it bit everybody. That's hilarious.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's so good.
We're going to call this rabbit Marshall Applewhite.
No, after Lizzie Borden.
Oh, Lizzie Borden.
Yeah.
All of that. We can name a pet after him. We can call him Applewhite.
We can do whatever we want.
I know. People
we
are
can
like,
rule the world.
what's his pet's name? Applewhite. Why is he wearing Nikes? That's none of your business. An Adidas jumpsuit.
That's just his style, you know. He just really likes that.
Yeah. Oh, there was a story near Charlena a few years ago. It's the Beltway killers near D.C. Whoa.
Man.
How long ago was that? Oh, a few years ago.
Yeah, I've never heard of the Beltway killers.
But some of the stuff we're really going to have to look into.
Yeah.
We're glad you're sharing this with us.
Well, we had Ariel Castro in the Cleveland area. He was one of the persons who had those women trapped. Like he was a terrible person. Yeah.
And no one knew about for it sounded like that guy.
Over a decade or so,
John,
I think.
Gacy.
Well, and exactly, and like it was ended up a homeless man ended up being able, the person who's like saved them. He like heard one of the girls like yelling out or like something. It was a whole crazy story.
Oh yeah, that is that guy from Cleveland. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that now. That was crazy. This, like I said, John Wayne Gacy, the guy all the boys trapped in his house.
We've been talking maniacs. Let's talk about the investigation stuff we want to talk about though, because we wanted to definitely get into that tonight. Chris and I went out to the Jake Paper Mill abandoned railroad bridge, and then he went out again today and shot some more stuff and got some interactions. But we have a video, or I'm sorry, an audio clip we're going to be releasing later this week of Chris saying something and some kind of knocking in response. So we'll put that up and see what you guys think of that.
And it is weird because all the wood, the railroad ties is almost gone because it sounded like kind of.
And we were sitting up there very still, you know.
It wasn't on the metal. It didn't seem. It didn't.
It sounded like wood or stone. It was
wood or stone, and we weren't moving at all, and we were standing still.
And like we could play earlier clips, and you can hear any of the birds knocking around us and any of that stuff. It's way different of a sound.
It's not a woodpecker because it's too cold for them.
So we'll be putting that up. But let's talk about the Jade experience.
Oh my gosh.
We went out to that bridge, and you guys, if you want to check out the Facebook, you can check out some of those pictures. They're really beautiful. Just the area was beautiful, and we might camp out there sometime. That was something we was talking about for sure.
Because it led me, because I was filming the outskirts of the fence line, the front pretty much of the old Jade paper mill, and somehow it led me to the other side of the fence, and I kept walking and walking. It was more open area, right back to the bridge again. And I filmed another, I call it EVP session, silent session, right there on the bridge again from the other side.
Well, and real quick to Charlena, that's how it works with the different news reporting things. Things get jumbled around. The names of things get jumbled around, and you might think the one person who's done something is different. And then going to David, the Bigfoot tree knocks. We were talking about that area because it's along the Cuyahoga River.
Yes.
It's definitely the area that could be supportive of Bigfoots and that kind of habitat and stuff for sure.
Yeah, that's what it was. We was looking out for that too while we were out there, David.
And Mom, talking about John Wayne Gacy. Oh man, I mean that's when you get into. Unfortunately, you're talking about children because he preyed on children.
And that's why people are afraid of clowns more.
Clowns, yeah,
because of that.
It was what was his name, Pogo or something like that.
He really was into his character.
Yeah, so that's definitely John Wayne Gacy, and there's a really terrible horror movie based on John Wayne Gacy. It's something it's 4 numbers. It's 1781 Gacy House or something like that. And it was just
was that
it's
in
a
Chicago?
Silly one.
That was in the Chicago area. We're around the Illinois area because I was watching something.
Sure.
And someone was going around in vans and stuff dressed up like a clown and try to entice children to the van during certain times. People called the cops on him a couple times and just watch him go by. And he was sitting there at playgrounds and elementary schools and some creepy ass shit.
Oh, for sure.
No, thank you.
Yeah, definitely not messing with that.
Maybe I'm glad I was over in Iceland for the 3 years away from this shit. But I probably would have been one of those dumbasses that went into the van. But anyway, he's right up there with Jeffrey Danger Sickos. Yeah, he was. Here they found so much, and they still were digging around in his house, in his crawl space.
Yeah, Dahmer was definitely a psychopath for sure.
You think they all follow Ed Gein and watch his stories and whatnot? Some of these guys?
No, I think so. Just
because I'm wondering,
it's just a theory, but I think it's a combination of a manifestation of certain ideas in the brain, and not having the parental figures that are attentive enough to teach you the right and wrong that you need to know, or it's parental figures who are too over oppressive and make you try to force you to think whatever they believe, so you want to rebel against that. I think it's those kind of mentalities that lead somebody down that kind of path.
Well, and eventually I rebelled back then, but not to the point they killing people.
Yeah, there's a difference between the typical teenage or that kind of angst or something, and then a person who early on some of these people, it starts to show up in toddler ages, 4 or 5 years old, and they want to be so controlling of situations where they eventually start making sure they are in control of the elements.
So Tracy brings this up, and I'm sure you know about this one, like everyone else, the Zodiac Killer.
Oh, Zodiac Killer is an interesting story.
They're still trying to solve his to this day.
Yeah, that's when you're talking about somebody who was into so many different things that he uses the symbolism and stuff to create patterns and stuff. And when you're messing with that kind of stuff, you have to be really intelligent to follow along.
And your mom says Pedro Lopez. Was that the guy from here? Or is that someone else?
No, that was a different person.
That was a different person.
Yeah, I'm trying
There's so many of them.
Yeah.
We lose track of them. I can't think of it right away. Oh my God, this has been a good night, guys. I'm glad you're...
Yeah. So Pedro Lopez was sentenced for killing 110 girls.
Oh my
but
God.
He has claimed that he has raped and killed more than 300 girls across Colombia, Peru, and Ecuador.
What the fuck?
He's still alive too.
Oh my God.
He's 71 years old. He was born in 48. But yeah, he's claimed to rape and killed over 300 girls.
So Charlena says, there's a theory that Ted Bundy is a product of incest by his grandfather and mother. His grandfather was a violent rapist.
Which would explain why his mentality would be so twisted. Yeah.
Yeah. You make a good point, Charlena. That is a good theory. Being raised in a household like that, you're not even supposed to be thought of.
Yeah.
With stuff like that.
I mean,
happens.
Anybody who's a product of rape, that's a terrible situation, you know?
I wonder if some, not most of them were, but they probably grew up with very bad households.
Yeah.
Very.
Well, Kemper, his mom was so, she hated men so much, she would just, take all of her aggression out on him, and she was, an alcoholic, and, she would always have, different men inside the house and stuff. And, when he killed her, he cut off her head and had sex with her head. Yeah. Yeah, Kemper had, that was his whole thing. Yeah. Again.
What the fuck, man?
A crazy
WTF
story,
moment.
yeah.
What the hell? That's because of his upbringing.
Because she made him feel like such a piece of a shit because he was
crap,
just born
yeah.
a man, yeah.
So
And he did nothing wrong, you know?
Just like the water boy, the devil. Pretty
she
much.
was apparently terrible to him.
Just
Yeah.
like that, yeah. In the water boy sense. Yeah, but
And she always would say he was embarrassing her, that he was embarrassing her.
because she probably didn't want him at the time. It was probably a unplanned.
I think it was
way
just
back then or something.
His father. I think she just hated his father,
so much that
the aggression
him.
transferred.
It reminded him of. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Wow, guys, this is crazy stuff, but we're learning, and some of this stuff I knew. Excuse me, I keep burping because the alcohol is so good. Cheers. God. But flipping a note, I know we're being keep because this is both interesting, but we've been somehow drawn to this area now. We really talked about this, me and you, that we really want to finish this Jate investigation. We really do, because we didn't really get a chance to dig.
We've attacked it a couple times, daytime now, and you went out today again.
Yep.
And it's we really need to see what it's like at night, really the presence at night.
And it's a perfect, I found the perfect way to get back there without trespassing, by the way.
Yeah, we're not trespassing at all.
It's it's where the fences are. There's beautiful spot right there where the bridge is. I put some pictures on my actual Facebook. That it was an actual from a distance, and you can see the beautiful grass, and then there's the rocks next to the river. It's perfect. Are we going to camp there? Maybe. Are we going to try overnight? We know where to go now.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're going to have to watch ourselves, of course, if any location we gone to at night, any outdoor.
Yeah.
Because David would know. You never know that Mr. Bigfoot or any cryptid is going to watch us that night. But there has been Bigfoot sightings in that area as well. So we really going to have to be prepared mentally and physically, because we never know what's going to happen that night, because we have to watch out for actual animals too as well.
Well, and I've luckily got a lot of experience in that area, so we'll be protected. Don't worry.
I know. I just, I throw my things out there, make sure we're all protected. And
yeah.
But we really want to get that done for you guys and for our curiosity as well, because it started out, we got rained out. We could have stayed longer. We could have stayed there for a long time.
Yeah. But unfortunately, we had to come back and take care of some duties.
Yep, we had the cake, and it rained on us, and we did kind of led us to the covered bridge, and we got some good evidence from that too. So
yeah,
it was kind of leading us. No, not tonight, guys. Not tonight. You go here.
But that's how it usually works. Sometimes, though, we get the location tells us when it wants us to go.
It probably did. It's like, nope, not today, guys. We're not ready for you guys. So, and we talked about this in the past too. If you show up enough to location, spirits start to get know you and actually respond to you in certain locations. It's like, oh, I know that guy. He was here to. Well, there's probably no time frame in the spiritual realm. We know that. So you can show up a year later and they'll probably still remember you like it's yesterday.
Well, we don't know that.
We don't know that, but it could be a theory out there. But if you keep going to, like, you show up and become friends with people and starting to know them and stuff like that, they'll pretty much are not going to be as reluctant to say something. So yeah, that's my theory on it. If you keep going to a location, they'll eventually, does not just happen a day. Some stuff has happened a day, but not, it's a very rare thing when spirits open up.
Yeah, it's like the revisitation of certain sites definitely opens up the opportunity for something to be more, I guess, inclined to interact with you.
Oh, yes.
But we're only still testing that theory. You know, we work hard on every investigation to try to put our best foot forward and to try to make sure that we look at everything. And it seems that when we revisit locations, we seem to have more interactions with things. Yeah.
Just like we talk about Deep Lock as well.
So that's why we talk about it in a certain certainty, because we have had a lot of interactions with stuff in that way. So don't think we know what we're talking about. We've had experience in certain areas.
We put theories to it, and you just can't go to a location once and be done. You have to go multiple times because you might get different multiple answers from different spirits that are roaming the area at that time. And please, Charlene says, please don't post a day when you're camping out. Stay safe. I mean, we might do overnight. We might camp out. That depends on how the things are out in the world. But the overnight we can possibly do because we've been out there before at night.
Yeah. We've been out on the other end at night. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been on the other end at night as well. And we're always watching each other's backs, make sure nothing. We always kind of stay close, but not too far. We always walk, but we don't wander off too far from each other.
No, we do pretty good.
Yeah, we do pretty good about that. It's like, okay. Hey, Gary. Oh, David must be talking to people he shared the stream with. Anyone? Okay, guys, what do you think? That theory? Do you think you need to keep going to a certain location that keeps drawing you in? And I believe so. I mean, I wasn't planning on going back to the bridge today, but somehow it had drawn me there. And we found a spot that could possibly be a perfect, just not necessarily an overnight campsite, but a place where we can set up and whatnot. And we're always careful. But somehow it drawn me there today, even after my little incidents with some other explorers today. No trespassing. No good.
We kept our distance, and when you went out today, you kept your distance.
Oh, I kept my distance.
But people were definitely not following the same rules.
When someone's like, oh, look, when someone says behind you when there wasn't supposed to be walking behind me, oh, look, he's probably going to go in there too. I say in my mind, nope. It might be wide open, but I might have been tempted, but nope, sorry. Because there's another reason why we don't want, other than the trespass, there's still chemicals in that area. There is still. They had hazardous waste somewhere. It was a paper mill back in the day. 1905, right? 1905 it started. And I know they didn't have a lot of OSHA and standards back then like they do now. But, I mean, I did film one pipe area and it had orange algae coming out of a pipe.
Yeah.
The water.
Charlene presented something interesting, though. She said maybe you feel more familiar and that makes you more open to any kind of the presence there,
It's vice versa. It goes, okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That is very, because we're like the covered bridge. What's another one? We really have except for the covered bridge. I've been out to the Swift Mansion Court Orphanage Road area once. I've been out there multiple times.
Yeah.
Molly Stark, I've been out there multiple times. You've been there once.
Yeah.
What's the other ones? Edwin Shaw. There used to be a tuberculosis hospital in Akron, which is now tore down. But they kept the cemetery. I've been up there a couple times and always feel something. I mean, they actually kept a memorial to all the tuberculosis patients that died in that area, and they didn't let them tear that cemetery down. Thank God.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
They'll be terrified, and there are probably still spirits roaming that ground, even though the hospital is long gone, because it's just an empty field now. Other than the cemetery is still there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Charlena, because you're more familiar with space, you'd be more open and ask more questions with respect. Of course, you gotta respect the spirits like they're living, because you never know what's going to happen.
Well, you gotta respect no matter where you go. I was reading. I believe I'm pretty sure it's Switzerland. It's either Switzerland or the Netherlands, where you can hike wherever you want to, pretty much any kind of public land, as long as you like pick up after yourself, don't litter, and things of that nature. So it's like they have an open like law of people where like you can go on any land and hike and camp and sleep, there. But as long as you're picking up after yourself and taking care of the land, it's just like as long as you take care of places that would be open to everybody, but people will just shit on stuff. We talk about the pandemic recently, and with the quarantine and like the people worried about the COVID and how many rubber gloves we've seen all over the ground and sidewalks and stuff. And it's just like, if you do stuff like that, you're not going to get access to things like that.
I was wearing my bandana and gloves going into Home Depot today for some duct tape, because we always need duct tape here. That's a great survival tool, by the way. Anyway, some guy walks past me. It's like, oh, you care too about wearing your mask and protect. It's like, yes, I am. I don't want to catch anything. Some of them treat it like I ain't going to get. Okay, whatever. We're not going to get big into that, but stay protected and safe out there, guys.
Yeah,
that's all.
I mean,
even exploring.
Unfortunately, it's one of those things where we don't want to talk about it too much, but you have to address it at a certain point.
We have to address it at a certain point. And even when you're exploring, keep your distance, please. Yeah, I like to meet new people, but keep it at a distance. I understand, and I do things differently now because we've learned from our past. I even said that in a video, it's like, no trespassing on this channel.
Well, we don't.
We don't anymore. No, we don't. We learned from our past. We moved on.
And we didn't even trespass a lot. We just had an instance where we unfortunately found ourselves on the wrong side of the law.
Yep, that's it. So I know it's tempting. It's like, ooh, this is going to be the video of the year. Some of them just want photos and share them. It's like, ooh, share them on the Man in Ohio's like, ooh. Okay, I get it. You want the popular. We're just here to share. I'm here to share my videos. I want to share experiences. This is why we investigate. This is why we share pictures. This is why we share our videos for you guys. Since if you're not from Ohio, you can see, oh, look, all this in Ohio. We can come here and explore without trespassing.
I completely agree.
And I'm sure in any other state that people want to explore and stuff and don't like to trespass, no. You can get good shots from a distance as long as you don't trespass.
Yep.
That's what the zoom on your camera is. I got some great pictures, even going through the chain link fence of some of the old mills still standing, the metal equipment, which is pretty cool, which is on my Facebook right now. And I'm probably going to share that on some of the Facebook page too.
Yep.
Because I got some older pictures I took last winter, but this is like kind of more greener, and I kind of like it better. It looks more spookier going down that out of a movie with the one lamp pole down this old entrance with the rails. Nature's taking over. Something out of a scary movie. It reminds me every time I go there and look at that one lamp pole that the trees are taking over. Wow, this has been a great night, guys. Any other experiences, or we can still talk about the Maniac Monday? That was just a little bit of what we want to do with the Jate area, or even the Helltown area, because I mean, I'm sure David and Randy want to go back out there and stay the night at the Stanford House and go Bigfoot hunting and paranormal hunting.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I would love to go in the Stanford House and just investigate the house. Ooh, Charlena's got another thing come up. George Washington's Masonic cave is near me, but the owner won't let anyone see it. Makes me mad. Maybe he's worried about people desecrating it.
I mean, and we've seen, unfortunately, too many things like that out on the location.
Historic things.
I mean, let's just talk about it right away. Molly Stark, how many penises were spray painted in Molly Stark? Like a lot of penises.
Especially in that main entrance.
Yep.
It was a beautiful entrance with that tall ceiling, that tall fireplace, that cathedral lamp. It was such a beautiful building. Why do you have to feel the need to desecrate such an archaeological place? Why? I mean, that's why some people are lenient for not letting people in certain places, because they want to break stuff or break windows or knock down doors and whatever else is in there. Throw your trash everywhere. I mean, or burn. We even saw that area that they burn a bunch of books. Someone did for no apparent reason.
Just have a fire in there.
Just have a fire in there. Don't go in there when it's cold if you need to get warm. There you go. But yeah, but that would be an interesting place to go into too, if it was ever allowed. Some places we wish they were allowed, or they need to turn into like maybe Ghost Hunts USA or something where you can go in there and tour, not necessarily for ghost hunts, just tour how beautiful the building was and the history and whatnot. We gotta remember the past, so we don't repeat it.
That's unfortunately, something we're not seeming to remember, is that we're making the same mistakes. Like right now, let's talk about this, we're making medieval mistakes as people right now. That's kind of ridiculous to think about, that we're making like centuries old mistakes. So it's just weird,
Have we learned from our past yet?
Not at
Some
all.
of them.
Yeah. I mean, look at Jacksonville. They opened the beaches up. As soon as they did, people were just flooding the beaches, It's really silly.
Even when I go to these parks, there's people there. They're getting out and getting some air.
We were doing fine when we went out the other day, but then you get people that are up your ass whenever you're trying to go out today,
Yeah, today it was because it was so it's pretty much a towpath in an old driveway. So I was on the old driveway because most people won't go down that way because the towpath is right above it.
That's what we did the other day.
We did the other day. I did the same thing today when I started filming. And you see pretty much halfway to the film, when I passed the old guardrails or show the old rusty pipe, I beeline to the old entrance with that creepy sidewalk and that lamppost. And they were reading, because they have a little history marker by the towpath. They were there reading it. Then they saw me. Then all of a sudden you see these guys. The lady goes off closer down there, but the dude literally comes up the same old sidewalk. So like, I'm sorry, am I interrupting your film? I was being nice, like no. So I pan away, try to get away. Well, he sneaks under the hole. I did not film it because I did not want to be in trouble or get him in trouble. I don't want to be responsible. I did not trespass. And all of a sudden you hear his wife behind me. I was panning down on I was pretending I was looking up at there's a cool old electric light post thing that's still there. Then I walk away. Then you see me walk up. It's like, this is why I don't trespass. We do not trespass.
Yeah.
And then someone was talking to me on Messenger later. It's like, they just want to, I met great friends while doing explorations and investigations. I made great friends that I probably would have never met on here. That's the old-fashioned way. It's like, oh, we got this page here. We'd like to do this. And then they open up and they shared. That's the same the Ariel and the Mark would talk about. They had skinwalker experiences. I still need to ask them about later. That's where we met them, is at Molly Stark, actually. We met them because they were exploring out there. Then we met people out and all the way out in Lima, Ohio, with that old Lima tuberculosis. We met a great couple of people out there. But now it's different times. Just respect someone's spacing. And I even said this in the rant. It's like, we got a family living here. I got grandkids. He's got kids. We got him and his wife living here. My wife and the stepdaughters living here. I don't want to bring sick home. We got too many young ones, too many valuable people in this house that don't need to be sick.
Yep.
Especially the ones that are not going out as much. We don't need to get them sick. And when we go out, make sure we're 100% safe. We stay.
We literally run to the basement as soon as we get home.
Yep.
We strip all the clothes, our exterior clothes, and make sure we're safe,
Yeah.
And to Charlena, with the virus stuff, there's so many things that we do and don't know, and we just gotta kind of leave that up to the experts, And I'm not talking about politicians because they're not the experts.
No.
But there are scientists and people in that community who, if you do the proper research, are telling the real facts, So just keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. That's all I'll say on that, because I don't want to get political.
Because I wanted to go out and I wanted to film, and it kind of led me back to where we was the other day, because I wanted to explore some more, and it kind of drew me to that area again for some reason. It's drawn me there, and I want to go and share this with you guys within the safe distance, because everyone that I was noticing on the towpath was keeping a good distance from each other. I know it's kind of crazy with the parking down there by the the old canal lock right there, because I had to park on the side, because I didn't want to walk all the way back up to where we parked before in Jade.
Yeah,
because I wanted to do a shorter. I didn't want to wear myself out because there's a lot of filming. But I just want to share this with you guys within safe reasons. And when we talk about doing investigations, we're in parks, and there's not a lot of people down there at night. And where this bridge is, not a lot of people are gonna be there. We found the other side that we've caught 2 people. That was about it. The day before that, when I just went out there, nobody. The other side, the 2 other sides, when me and you went, then today when I went around, which is more wide open, less scratches.
Yeah.
On no fence crawling, holding on, just make sure we don't fall in the water. There was nobody around. Well, it could have been a Bigfoot watching me, but I wasn't watching, but paying attention. I should have been. I was paying attention on the way back, and I heard some weird noises, and that creepy hammock was still there that was put up after.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like there's just a hammock hanging from that Jade Bridge that it doesn't make sense why it's there.
It's just like one of those sitting hammocks. Like almost.
I don't know. We were talking to some kayakers whenever we were out there,
and they were like, confused.
Why is that up there? Like, did you guys get into it at all? I'm like, no, I don't want to get into it. It's probably full of like gross
my
stuff,
fat ass will get into it and it'll fall right in the water. And that current's pretty strong in that water. It's stinky, but and cold.
Well, that's what I'm worried about, is like whatever's growing or festering in that thing,
Oh yeah, we're our hour, so we want some more. Hey guys, we've been rambling on, telling you about the investigations, Maniac Monday. Throw some stuff out there. If you guys are watching right now, do investigations in or explorers. What do you guys do? How do you prepare? There we go. Oh, wait a minute. I was going to read something, though. A question for tonight, too. That's right.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Oh, and I got this new handy little notebook.
I'll let this dude do his thing real quick.
Here we go. The question of the night is, and this is kind of referring to what we've been talking about just recently. Why do you think some ghosts and spirits never leave a certain location. There you go. Chime that in, guys. Why do you think some ghosts or spirits never leave a certain location? What do you think? Put your thoughts in the comments below. That is the question of the night. What do you think, guys? Chime on in. I mean, I can think of a couple things, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on this. What do you think? Why do spirits and or ghosts never leave a certain location? It could be outdoor, it could be a house, it could be a factory, it could be a bridge, it could be just the outdoors with no buildings around. Chime on in, guys. What are your thoughts on that? Comment below. I'll be waiting. I'm waiting. Yeah, Tyler has to check upstairs regularly, so.
Well, I just want to make sure I'm checking the monitor and stuff.
So when Tyler
Yeah,
comes back,
kiddos.
I want to hear his opinion of the question of the night.
What's the question of the night? I know the question of the night, but I'm asking you.
What do you think why ghosts and spirits never leave a certain location? It could be a house, it could be even the middle of the woods, that bridge,
Well,
the
think about
factory.
this. One of the big factors I think could be just ownership. Think about how you are about your Mustang. You
True.
love your Mustang. You would love to be attached to your Mustang as long as you can.
Yes.
So if you passed away tomorrow and you could think of any location, you probably wouldn't pick the house so much.
No.
I think that would probably be a choice for you. So I think about things like that. I definitely think there are a lot of things that attach themselves to certain objects.
So here's another thing, because
children, and they want to attach themselves to certain objects as well.
What do you think? Like if you go to a location a lot, you think if you know it enough and put enough time and effort into it, you think your spirit can go to a different location that you love so much, exploring in or investigating, or just have a passion about it, the history and all that. That was another good one too. Not necessarily.
There's potential there.
There is potential there. So like I say, I can travel my Mustang to Molly Stark. It's like, haha, I'm dead, people. I'm not trespassing anymore. I don't know if I want to go there because it's kind of scary in some locations. Because the spirits cannot be so friendly. I've been roaming those halls for a while. And Charlena chimes in. I think some are recordings of time that would fall into the loop. Yeah, the stone tape theory. It keeps recording and recording. And Joe's
one of the things that like the Gettysburg soldiers, they tend to fall into that stone tape theory, or like some kind of theory like that, where it's like they're repeating the same kind of marches or things like that.
Yep. And Joe says familiar territory. And David says, oh, I already like this guy already. It's the same with my Mustang. See? All right.
Mustang folks know it, man. Chris and I were talking about, like, my first car was an 83 Mustang.
Oh, yeah, we shared stories.
And he was talking about his 89, and it's a fun story when you're talking about classic cars like that,
Tracy says, maybe they die suddenly and don't know they're dead, and they're like, well, gotta go to work. And because I also got an Instagram, and I shared some of my pictures of Jade. And I'm friends with a couple of the paranormal group, actually from Haunted Road Media and Perfect Trust Productions. They're the ones that film over Ireland and did those investigations that Vanessa
okay.
and Gwen Clapper. I want to give a shout out to them. But Gwen said it could have been a severe industrial accident, and she felt like there were suicides there because it is a bridge and it is a water.
I mean, that happens a lot, unfortunately.
It's not the very tall bridge, but you put it short enough, or you just want to just in the river. Well, that makes a good point because she felt that the energy from our pictures, just pictures. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, even back then, they didn't keep records of a lot of industrial accidents and or deaths or any traumatic event could
Yeah.
happen to somebody that changed their life. And when they passed away later on in life, they could have gone to that location and roam in those grounds because of that one traumatic event. I hope I don't go back to NTB and haunt that. Fuck that shit.
No. I don't want to haunt any of my workplaces. So my goal is when I get a house, I'm gonna build up a place to where if I passed on and I could watch my children grow up in that place after I passed on and like raise their families and that stuff, that would be like my ultimate goal, to create that ultimate space where it's like as soon as I pass, my kids would be like, oh no, I want to move into my parents' old home, because it was such an amazing spot.
Talk about my you say something like that. It reminds me of the times up in a small town next to a river. My grandparents built a big log cabin up there, right up against the river, surrounded by a bunch of pine trees and a lot of front land, and an old house they use for antiquing. What if I want to die away and I'll go to that
Tracy
house.
wants to haunt Universal Studios. That is awesome. I like that, Tracy. I like that a lot.
Hey, Tracy, if you die away, if you do pass away, unfortunately, once you go haunt Zach Baggins Museum, please. Please terrorize the crap out.
If you get to Universal, if you're hanging out at Universal, just help me get to the front of the lines. That's all I ask for.
Oh, it must be Tracy. She's helping me out here.
Yeah.
Or like just sneak through the gate.
Sorry, I got a new incense burning.
But we got the incense burning.
Helps keep the studio cleansed.
Yes.
This one's frankincense and myrrh.
Frankincense and myrrh. Oh, that's what.
Randy, what's up?
Oh, Randy. Randy can chime in. No, we weren't trespassing, Randy. You like the new picture on their Facebook page?
Hey, Randy, we were talking about it, and we'll see what you think about it. We're talking about the new Jate location, about camping out there, and how easy it could be for a Bigfoot creature to be out there. So let me know what you think of that, man.
Oh, Tracy's like out there in my comment. He enjoyed that too much. Yeah, that's probably true. Someone's haunted me. Oh, I'm going to yell and scream at it and curse at it. And send
Hey,
Billy.
Randy, no problem, man. We're just
send Billy and Aaron in.
Just send my buddies in, no problem. These guys will do anything for money.
I would haunt Brad Pitt's shower. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Shirley.
Come on, Charlene. Come on. We don't keep it PG, but come on. You're being this ain't your romance novel, Charlene. Like, come on.
I know we've been cooped up for a while in our houses, but come on. Oh my god.
I love you guys, though. You guys are amazing.
Are cracking me up. This is awesome.
Thank you guys for a wonderful night. It's a good
Randy,
Monday.
Don't worry about it. I don't know if Dave's still here, but yeah, you can rewatch it, but was it
David?
Oh, David. Sorry.
I don't know if he goes by Dave. I just know it's listed as David, and that's my middle name, so I'm going to keep it as David.
Okay, we'll keep it as David. But anyway, he just asked a question about the Bigfoots and the paranormal over at Jate, how the two would tie together. When we want to do a couple investigations out there and some at night safely. Just like we started to at one time, but didn't get a chance to because it's telling us to get the F out of there.
Yeah. Well, we've had a couple locations where it's like, oh no, I think we probably should get out of here because things are kind of pointing us in the wrong direction.
And Randy goes, sounds like fun for Dave. I'll stay at camp to call 911. Well, I was thinking about your abilities, Randy, and I just want to see what he senses out there in Jate, especially that area. Not just for the Bigfoots, just for that paper mill and that.
All right, come on, Joe. Joe, come on, man, come on.
Oh God!
Come on,
Charlene,
dude.
You gave Joe an idea.
You guys are a bunch of perverts, okay? But I love you all.
Yeah, we love you all, guys. This is why
you guys are hilarious.
But yeah, we want him to sense that Jate area. I'm pretty sure he can chime chime in and see what he feels and whatnot, because that would be quite interesting to take someone with those kind of abilities up there.
Oh, I'd love to do that for sure. I'm always trying to do stuff like that.
Oh, Jesus. Good old Joe. Everyone's getting the crack out of that. Charlena wants Brad Pitt. Joe wants Jennifer Aniston. Well, they did used to date each other, so makes sense.
I'm still a fan of Brangelina. I wish that wouldn't have broke up.
Then she got all weird, though.
You get all weird.
I know. So do you.
Yeah, we're both weirdos.
God. I kind of like Jennifer Aniston.
Oh, Jennifer Aniston's awesome. You know, I was never a big Friends fan, but then
No.
my wife made me watch all of it, and we hung out and watched all of it. And, okay, I'm a Friends fan now.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, Ross fucking sucks, dude. Like, how David Schwimmer got all that money, and, like, Ross fucking is annoying. You know, I don't like Ross.
Anyway. God,
Chandler for the win.
Now we got Friends reference, just like we had a Tiger reference. Sorry. Oh, good Lord. I know you had to sneak that one in there early.
Dude, I gotta get my Tiger King references in because Tiger King is the shit. That helped me with like a certain week of quarantine.
True. I just watch a lot of videos of paranormal and live getting subjects and whatnot, because as far as my energy, I can't even talk.
Energy.
My injury. I've been in this
injury.
house longer than these guys have, and I've watched so much stuff. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but Tiger King, man, it transcends all.
I know. I'm missing this. I'm missing that. I know.
Well, it takes a day or two. One day, actually.
But
no.
I would have to
No
sneak up to
excuses.
your room to watch it, because they're always having it something on the TV for TT and whatnot.
Because my daughter rules all.
Yeah.
My daughter is the czar of this household.
She's like, I want to watch Frozen again. And Toy Story.
I've watched Toy Stories 1 through 4, I think like 6 times in the past 2 weeks. Yeah. I used to love them. I used to love them all. Not anymore.
That's a good another subject. Do toys haunt you?
Well, toys are interesting because I think it's just
Relics,
whatever
toys.
potentially
dolls.
owned it before. If you buy
Yeah.
the toy first,
Like
I
Robert
think you're
the doll.
okay. Yeah. I think if you buy the toy as like a new object, I think you're okay. But if it's like something that's passed on through generations,
From
I
a
think
flea market or antique store.
yeah, something could attach itself through to it, you know.
Yeah, let's not bring an old Raggedy Ann doll. we
Well,
already got the
have
new
some,
one.
Yeah.
We have the new ones, not some old ones.
Joe says, "All hail King Pervert." You guys are all perverted. All y'all.
Oh my God.
But we love all y'all.
We love all you guys. You guys crack me up.
And thank you guys for watching the show. I know it's Monday. You know, you could be doing something different, but
Yeah, you chose
tuning
to watch
into the
us.
show, that's awesome. You know, thank you.
You chose to watch these guys. Back at it again. Them Baps
Them
boys
Baps boys.
are at it again.
They're always doing something weird.
We're always doing something.
Yeah.
We're always doing something.
What do you want to do weird tonight, man?
Well, no, I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing it. Come on.
No.
Come on. This is PG-13 at best. Jeez. Oh, my candle burned out.
Uh-oh. See? Our candle. At least we got the incense still burning.
Yeah, we got that going on.
So, yeah, that was what was the other one, the question of the night? Well, we already kind of answered that. We've been a lot of different subjects tonight. The investigation, maniacs, cults, the cereal box killers. No, I'm teasing. Any serial killers.
It's all Tony the Tiger, man.
Is it Tony the Tiger? Did he do it? They're great. What was great?
You know, my mom said it's been a good show. And let's talk about this. So I just want to throw this out there real quick.
go ahead.
Just for, you know, you guys are so great at putting good energy out for people.
Yes, you are.
over the weekend, my sister was in a car accident, and she's called into the show. She actually gave a story to the show one night.
Yeah, she did.
And if anybody could send out a lot of good energy to my sister Tara, you know, she's okay. You know, she's great.
She's good. I even asked, I was like, as long as she's okay.
Yeah, she's okay. But just send that good energy, because it's the mental game that can fuck you up sometimes after a car accident like that, you know. So everybody put it out there. You know, my mom and my sister have been a good part of the show, and they've been watching certain parts of this. So my mom every day, actually, like, she watches like almost all the shows. Yeah,
and for all those, even for like Joe and Charlena, even Tracy earlier. Now David and Randy are joining in. I mean, all you guys have been wonderful, even from day one. Thank
you, Joe.
Our first show was just Belinda on YouTube.
Yep.
And we were just reacting.
The very first one was just
Belinda. First show was just Belinda. You could go all the way back to it on the YouTube. It was just Belinda. Then how this moved. We put so much work and effort into this, so you guys can joke around in the chats, be perverts, or accidentally fry yourselves with electric when you press the bell on the other side of the McDonald's, abandoned McDonald's. Joe's knows what I'm talking about.
Thank you, David.
So in Hoodoo, they pass bad problems to objects and give it away. That's why you don't pick up loose change. Wow, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, I don't really mess with loose change, yeah.
If it falls, it's funny because you mentioned that. There's a couple pennies that dropped on my floor. I haven't picked those up yet. Well, they're just pennies, but I haven't picked them up yet.
Yeah.
If I drop something, it's like, no, I don't. Or if I found a penny when we moved in, or I just left it there.
I feel that, yeah.
It's that for a reason. Everyone's sending thoughts and prayers to your sister.
I appreciate everybody. Thank you. You know, we don't stray from getting personal, you know, because we want to make sure you guys know us as who we are, and that's why we're human, things like that,
and jokesters and jesters.
We have a lot of fun, but
we have a lot of fun.
But there's serious things that happen too.
There's a lot of things that happen that could affect anything, any situation, any investigation, any show that we do. And that is very true. I mean, it hasn't been easy between me and you in the beginnings, because we used to, at each other, but we forgive each other. We drink beers, we hang out, we go explore, we go investigate places, because that helps. It's a form of our meditation too when we go out to these spots and explore. It helps a lot.
It's one of those things where we're both very strong-minded people about things we like, so that's what happens, like no matter what, when you have two people who are really passionate about what they believe in, you're gonna have some friction sometimes, and we've
had our friction, but
we've never let it affect our overall relationship.
Nope. Not at all. You're welcome, Tyler's mom. And that's what kind of led us into. He talked about his Mustang, and I talked about.
Yeah, my first car was an '83 Mustang.
He was like pimping. It's like, this is the coolest car ever. I seen that picture. He showed me that, Tyler's mom. I was like, I would have done the same thing, actually.
Yeah, I felt like I was the coolest person ever because I was, 18
Mustang.
years old, and I had an '83 Mustang, and I thought I was the coolest person in the world.
Everyone loved those Fox Body Mustangs.
Oh, they're so beautiful, yeah.
They are wonderful cars. Not giving crap about my new Edge, but I do love the Fox Bodies. I mean, I'll never.
Well, you got like a 2004, 2002?
2002.
2002, yeah.
Convertible.
But yours is the GT, right?
Yep.
So yours is a high performance model.
I got the 5-speed because I can't go automatic.
Well, not in the Mustang like that, yeah.
No.
Mine was an automatic, but
still you can rip the tires and whatnot.
Yeah, I could have fun with it. Yeah.
I had fun. Those are meant to have fun.
Then I had an Accord for a while, and now I have a
Yeah.
CRV.
I remember that car. Oh, Tyler's coming out the driveway. Is leaking a little gas, or that you can smell the gas for a mile. It's like I had to make sure I filled up before I came here. I leaked half of it back on the road. You can follow my trail. You could probably light a lighter. I mean, it was a good
More than a couple times, yeah.
dude. It got you from Lakewood all the way up to Valley City a lot. So
I got to see my wife before she was my wife.
Yep.
You know? And
got-
now she's my wife, so I did something right.
so that car kept you safe. Gosh,
It did its duty.
it did its duty.
It did its duty.
I did take my Mustang out for a little bit today, but not to the police because I don't trust people out in that way because there were so many people parked. Plus,
Well,
I don't
people
know.
don't know
I
how
didn't
to
know
do
what
things.
at the time. I didn't know what I was going to get myself into parking wise, since my Mustang's lowered, and I didn't want to risk, parking in because I know I had to park on the gravel or what, just like
Yeah.
we did with the falls. But yet that was a parking spot. They didn't bust us this time because there's a lot of people out that time.
Yeah, we've paid some parking fines for like areas
For
where
BS.
yeah, like a lot of people.
That
were
was
parked. Yeah.
BS.
It was a weird situation.
Oh, David's got a GT 5-speed 2007 black.
Woo!
Woo! Well,
David's getting me all excited.
now we get to
He's getting me all randy.
talking about Bigfoot's paranormal and Mustangs now.
Well, I mean, you and I are both Mustang guys, for sure. You know, my brother, he's a Dodge guy, so he's a Charger guy.
Yeah, well, we'll forgive him. Those are
I might forgive him, you know.
Those
But
are land
the
yachts on
Mustang
there.
is the king, you know.
Come on, yeah. And it's been in production and not stopped since 65, so or 64 and a half, excuse me. Wow, I'm getting laying off my head. Has not stopped production since 64 and a half. The half model wasn't supposed to come out to 65 anyway, but it got leaked and someone bought it. So it was a 64 and a half. There you go. Here's some little Mustang history for you. And that car sold for, I think they sold it for over
What's
$1
your
million.
dream Mustang, though? I mean, I know you love your Mustang you have, but I know there's a Mustang you love above that.
Well, who doesn't love Eleanor and not
The 69 Fastback?
67 Mustang GT 500 Eleanor?
Oh, okay.
But there's also the 68 Mach 1. That was a popular.
That's my
16
favorite.
and 68. Yeah.
Yeah,
Between
mine's
those-
the Mach 1.
Between
The
those
68
two years.
Mach 1 is my favorite. I told my brother he can get whatever Dodge he wants. I'll get a 68 Mach 1 and I'll blow him out of the water.
Because the horsepower was better back then. There wasn't limited.
And I'm not going to tell him what engine I have in it because it has room for a lot of engines, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We talk about a lot. I'm sorry, guys. We talked about some cars.
Charlena's got a Fiesta. We can put a 5.0 in that. It's been done. I've seen it.
I have a CRV. I have literally a 2010 Honda CRV, so don't worry. But what I want to do is I want to eventually take my CRV and I want to put like a high performance engine in it so I can fuck with people. So like whenever some kid pulls up to me and like some like Civic or something and starts revving his engine, I'd be like, okay, cool, let's go ahead. And then I'll just blow him off the line because my car's a fucking 8-cylinder, you know, like a
swap a V8 in there.
Yeah,
easily.
oh, dude, we'll do it eventually. All right, that'll be a goal.
David's got a cool name for his car, and it's after a horror movie car.
Christine. That's such a good
She's named after that.
Stephen King reference, man.
1957 Plymouth Fury. I don't know how I remember that, but I know exactly what that car is. I love that movie. That was the whole what attachments could do if it really was extreme attachment, and that would be Christine. Hey. Or
I mean,
in the beginning of that movie, though, when he sold it to, talk about the putting so much time because he got possessed and the car just took over him. Possessed. That car killed all. It was like, man, talk about instant fix though. That car fixed himself, no problem.
Yeah, right.
It's scary though when it came.
All right, guys. So we'll throw it out one more time for the night.
One more night.
And one more night. Whoa, one more night. All right, so we'll throw it out one more time for the night. What's a maniac? You know, like a serial killer, a dictator, a cult leader that has haunted your nightmares, that has, you know, sparked your interest, whatever it has been. You know, what's one of your guys' stories on something like that? And if you have anything else you want to throw out, we'll talk about anything for the night for sure.
Charlene throws this out. I'll tell you, if anyone can come back as a ghost, it would be Stephen King. Fucking absolutely.
That dude's a master of
That
it. Yeah,
dude is a master. Oh my god.
he's got some knowledge for sure. He's studied some magic.
And it's all in kind of a horror, and well, The Green Mile was written by him too. Think about that.
Written, yeah.
The Green Mile. That was written by him. It wasn't, I mean, as scary, but it was interesting.
No, but The Green Mile is amazing. It's a
that
good
was
story.
just such a good movie. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a good story and movie. I mean, you know,
You never know.
rest in peace, Michael Clark Duncan. You know,
Yep. He was
a great actor, and you know he played John Coffey so well.
No one else could have done that role.
Not like he did.
Not like he did.
His presence, he was such a big man, but he was so soft. You know,
he was a softy big man.
It's kind of like Terry Crews. You know, he's a big dude, but he's kind of a softy for sure.
Man, there's a lot of good actors in that movie. One of them's name is Stanton. Was his last name? Actor. I felt very proud. He was that other bigger guy. No, boss. No.
Thank you for tuning in, David. We appreciate you, especially while you're at work, man. You know, like we definitely appreciate you tuning in.
Chat later, guys. Oh yeah, we will, Dave. Thank you very much, sir. We'll chat it all up now.
Yeah,
we got so much stuff to talk about.
I can't wait for those fireside chats.
And your mom says H.H. Holmes.
Oh,
your mom's throwing it out there.
She's going at it.
Oh, that's
what H.H. Holmes is a whole other bag.
American Horror Story. That one is based. That one series. That my wife thought was kind of boring, but I was trying to get into it. That's why I haven't finished and wanted to finish. Is that because she didn't like that when we got to hotel? No, she didn't like that one. She liked the witches one, of course, but
Coven was really
good. Was really good. Yeah, I kind of. She didn't like the Asylum one, but I kind of like that.
I like the Asylum. Yeah.
It kind of played into the one with the clown, the Freak Show.
Freak Show was good, yeah.
It kind of tied into that one.
I liked them all for the most part.
I didn't finish them all, so don't spoil it for.
I'll be quiet. Don't worry.
I was halfway through the hostel.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, I don't want to watch this," because she used to watch it for me all of them up till that point. I need to finish that somehow.
All right, guys. So. Let's do it for the night. Let's do a sigil.
Let's do a sigil. Let's go for it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. For all the stuff that's been going on. Randy says, another fun show, guys. Same here. Got to go home from work, too. Well, drive safe there, Randy and Dave. And for all those who don't know, David and Randy is from the EVP Mediums, that Paranormal Road podcast we're part of. I pinned it to the top of our Facebook page. If you want to go check it out, we chat them up with them guys. And I also put it on the playlist, other podcast shows that we're part of on the YouTube as well. So either or, it's easy to find on the playlist on YouTube and our Facebook page, Paranormal, because it's pinned right to the top of the Facebook page. It takes you right to the link that awesome show that we were so awesome a part of, and we're going to continue that. But there might be a extra bonus show because of the fireside chats. All that guaranteed, it's going to be extra bonus shows.
All right, so let's do a sigil for the night.
Okay.
Let's see. So This is my notebook for that. What do we want for the night?
Well, all the things
Protection for followers. Let's do that.
protection from followers. Yes, that's
So,
good.
How I do a sigil and how it's normally written is you write out the whole intention. So, protection for followers. You gotta immediately take out all the vowels.
All the vowels.
Then take out all the repeating letters. All right.
Right now, he's writing out the sigil, and he's talking about the steps.
Yeah, so you remove all vowels.
Yep.
So tonight we're doing protection from followers,
Protection from followers.
and you remove all vowels. Then you take out all repeating letters. So I'm writing the last ones that are left over. All right. So then you take those last remaining letters and you turn them into a
Symbol.
magical sigil. So it's something that is magical in your mind. Some people make funny sigils, some people make serious sigils, some people make it dark, some people make light, whatever you're into. I'm going to make a light one for this one tonight for sure. So let me go ahead and pop over here.
Which one? What's using? Dragon's blood or the Dust
Dragon's blood.
one? So you got to finish. Do you necessarily have to finish out the ink that you started using?
I'm going to for this one for sure. Yeah.
Because I figured I threw that out there. I was going to ask that too. Do you don't want to start a new ink?
No, I don't want to start a new ink for sure because this has been doing us pretty good too.
Right now, he's writing each letter from what's left of those letters and vowels and repeating letters taken out for the sigil. And after he's done, he will hold it up there and show it to you. In the process of after that as well, he will explain. I'm slowly learning the process. I'm getting there better and better.
right.
All right, guys.
Let me get this capped.
Yeah, we don't want to spill the dragon's blood. Now he's gonna.
This is our sigil for the night.
That's our sigil from. You take out the protection from followers. He took out the vowels and repeating letters, and you make a symbol out of that. And he did that with the dragon's blood ink.
And that dude just explained it, and he is just learning about this, and it's amazing that he's already learned so much knowledge about this.
I'm trying.
Hey, no,
I'm remembering little by little.
You did exactly. So that's what this is. So what we'll do is we'll burn this off, and this will be a protection for all you followers. And we just appreciate you guys so much. You know, you guys come in, you watch us, you interact, you talk, you tell us your stories, you answer our questions. You know, we just appreciate everything you guys do. So don't take this next thing as a thing of disrespect. This is actually a good thing. I'm going to crumple this up and get it ready to burn.
For order to work, you have to burn it. That is probably, it's one of the rules. You have to crumble it up and you have to burn it.
Well, the crumple part is not necessarily like.
Well,
the
it's
rules,
easier
but
for us to burn that way.
You gotta get rid of it.
But it makes it another way where it gets it all in one. It's our rule, as you say.
And we make sure
Home
we
rule.
take care of everything. Yeah.
Just like there's home rules in Monopoly. Home rules. Now he's earning that sage.
So yeah, go ahead and tell them something you were. If you want to talk about that question you asked earlier again, one more time.
Oh! For all those that are still here, what is the one reason why a ghost or spirit would stay at a location? Any location, house, outdoors, or even like a vehicle, anything. Why would they stay in a certain location or material thing? There we go. Material thing. Why would they stay there? If you want to throw another thing down in the chat while he's performing the sigil, finishing it off so properly, go ahead and throw it down in our chat room. And he writes down everything right in his little book here. He's got many little books, but that's one of them. Your mom says may have unfinished business. I don't know what she was referring to.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Who are you referring to, Tyler's mom? I might have missed something or what we were talking about. Oh, a warning to loved ones. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know what you talk about the question. May have unfinished business. Yes, sorry. Wow. They could be looking at, they have unfinished business. Yes. Charlena, a warning to loved ones. Yes. It could be like, there was only one story I know that a ghost actually solved a murder mystery. I forget. I have to look that up too. Yeah, a warning to loved ones and may have unfinished business. You're correct. Sorry, my mind was like, oh, maybe it's not enough alcohol in me. I'm teasing. Anything else you guys want to throw out there? I don't know how many people are left in chat. That's okay. We don't mind. Elena Camargo is watching. Okay. Welcome, Elena. That's a very good. That's what she was talking about. What that question?
Yeah, the question. I figured.
I was like, whoa, I had to think about it real quick. Oh, okay. Because we talked about so much tonight.
And I appreciate everybody interacting so much tonight.
Right. That's why we try to think of these questions for every show. I mean, yeah, we've been doing a lot of these shows. We might like run out of stuff, but we hope not. But that's
We'll
why
never run out of stuff.
we never. That's why we ask you guys too. And some nights I share stories, or we'll have a call in, which we haven't had one of those in a while. We'll try to get one. I'll try to get one too, if the person is willing and able. Joe's like, too much alcohol. No, it's not enough alcohol. We never have enough alcohol.
Joe's being pretty judgmental.
I know. Jeez, Joe. I mean, we do have to wake up in the morning, and Tyler has to play daddy.
Yeah, I have to be up every morning. Don't worry.
Wake up.
I never have too much alcohol because I have to be up.
Yeah. And I can't hardly. My sleep habits are up and down too. So I think everyone's has been up and down because they've been in this four walls for a while. This is why we go out the other day and shared it with you, or I've been randomly just like, oh, I'm going to go out here and film and take pictures and share. And yeah, I mean, shoot, we've been posting a lot of stuff on the paranormal page, YouTube page, and my other page as well. It's like every 2 days I always have something, but it always leads to our investigations that you've been posting on the paranormal YouTube page.
Well, we try to make sure we are capturing everything we take and everything we do, you know.
I mean, I'm gonna post up that little 4-minute video on the Facebook paranormal page of my silence and EVP session again on the bridge, because it drawn me there on the old Jade abandoned railroad bridge. Some people just feel a presence or energy that does that count as a ghost? Charlena with the good.
Well, it's not always a ghost.
It's not always a ghost.
Some locations just have energy.
They have energy.
Energy is different than just a paranormal or a ghost reaction.
Yep. It could be a event.
Well, and it could be just the natural energy a location's obtained, you know.
From because there's a lot of
because like
the river.
Think about like, you know, like people will charge crystals and stuff.
Right.
You know, if a location has certain kind of things that are conductive to certain energy, it would have its own energy, you know.
Facebook Live, but from that one side to the other side, I feel a different energy on the other side
because we're definitely talking about
we seem like we're more in touch with that side because of the paper mill and all that and the stone and all that in that area than we was on the other side, because there was just earth and just a concrete for the bridge. But when we got to the other side, because you have all that stone along with also that paper mill, that's kind of like a barrier for it, like a reef barrier, you know. They put all that stone there for a reason.
Yeah.
And the water and the stone and closer to the paper mill, whatever. I mean, yeah, different energy and a lot more wooded area as well for a Bigfoot. But anyway,
a lot of wooded area for Bigfoot.
God, I was waiting for him to jump up at me today too. But I did hear the weird noise on the way back, but we're not going to get into that. It was an awkward noise. It could have been just one of those buzzards. There was a lot more of those flying around today.
A lot of buzzard and hawks out there.
It was a lot more flying around closer to the bridge today.
Yeah, something's out there.
Something is out there. I'm just saying. It just was kind of eerie and weird. But I mean,
so is there any last minute questions you guys got? We got about like 5-10 more minutes before we get out of here.
Oh yeah. It is about almost, oh my God, 2 hours again. Wow. We go through this. It seems quick, but it's really not. But holy crap. But yeah, thank you, Charlena, for that. And that was a good question. And we glad we can answer it to the best of our abilities, because we definitely felt something different on the other side than we did the one side. This is why we want to continue that area, because of that investigation and Jade, and just mean, not necessarily we don't want closure, but we want to talk and interact more if anybody's out there, because they probably haven't done it in a while, given the area.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I'm sure they hear all those people going up at the towpath, but what about those if they just hang out by the bridge? Not very many. A few.
Not like what we were doing, yeah.
Not from the other side anyway. Because if you're a daredevil and want to cross that, that's your own risk. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do it safely.
My mom was asking the tarot card tonight. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So ahead. We had the Queen of Oysters in the reverse position, and
yeah, it's your little card because it's a new deck. Well, new to the show. Anyway, not new to Tyler.
It's kind of new to me. I've had it for a while, but I
never used them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the Queen of Oysters reversed is false front, underdeveloped ego, need to impress, evil and suspicion, viciousness. So what we attributed to that was some of the things related to the locations we've been out to.
There's a lot of legend,
the Jade stuff. There's a lot of fake stuff about that location. Yep. So we attribute that message to that location, where it's like we're doing our research, but we are definitely avoiding the negative and the false legends out there.
You know, I'm gonna try a little harder and see, but they probably don't have documented deaths out in that area. But any industrial accidents or, I mean, I really hate to research suicides and deaths, but some of them might be unknown out there. They're never reported.
You never know, yeah.
You never know. It can not always be reported, but it does make sense given the area.
Yeah. And
some person that's just looked at a picture from my Instagram saying industrial accidents and suicides. Wow. That really, I told him today too. I was like, I can't believe. And they're all the way out west.
Yeah.
I mean, and she loves her railroads and bridges, and because they got a lot out there west too.
And we were talking about the Jade Bridge and the legend we heard out of the 70s, and let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah, tell you that story because you found it interesting and funny.
So there was a story out of the 70s, and this popped up on Abandoned, Ohio. These guys who worked at the Jade paper, and they would make it seem like a train was coming through, because a lot of people driving over that area would go slow because it was kind of bumpy and rocky. So it was known to like fuck up the bottom cars and stuff like that. So you would go slow, and these guys would like come through and like run from a certain part and act like they were a train, a ghost train. And so they think they might have attributed to the ghost train legend.
I mean, on that one side where we walked through that, it was really hard. But the other side, how we got to the other side, there's a lot of train tracks right there. You can, and plus you go further up where there used to be the roads into it, at the front of it, I would call it. I don't know if it's, yeah, that's definitely got to be the front. You can put a car up there and they're coming off work. Hey guys, you want to spook some people out? Let's go bring a car and slowly drive up, because they didn't have the fences that much back then like they do now. With
well, and Charlene was saying we need to bring a medium with us. I wish we could, because it's hard to bring people out with us right now. You know, unfortunately, it's just like Chris and I live together, so it's okay for us to be out together. But
people look at us weird. It's like, we live together. That's what we said that in the live feed. Like, we live together. Don't worry, guys. We could be close. I mean, we're not going to cough at each other like, Rona. But yeah, we would love to bring a medium out there. Yeah. And that's what we talked about. That's why I asked Randy. He wouldn't necessarily be on the Bigfoot side of things. He would see how he feels about the area in general.
Yeah.
Because that would be very interesting, actually, to see his insights.
Well, once this clears up, you know.
Right.
But for the night, guys, we're out of here.
Thank you guys.
We've enjoyed the show so much. And
we talked about so much. And
yeah, all the questions and comments have been wonderful.
look, and the same show will be on Wednesday. For April will be about the same, so look out for that.
But thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys. Stay safe.